Philly's favorite 100.7 FM and 99.5 HD3. Welcome to another Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva, Desiree McDuffie. Today we'll be talking about home inspections again, but with a new guest. It's a topic we have discussed before, but we have another expert to give us even more insight. So stay tuned. Let's go.
This is your girl, Desiree Real Estate Diva McDuffie, here with another episode of Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. And guess what, guys? We have an amazing guest today. One of the people I most admire in the real estate industry, Miss Simone on Homes. She is the owner of Abundant Home Inspection Services. As you can see, Black woman, powerful woman, yes, doing her thing. And, I love to see that. So, I just want to thank you, Miss Simone.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I love to be that.
Well, you are that. You are all that and more. Highly respected woman. You don't see too many Black-owned, especially Black woman-owned, inspection companies, so kudos to you for making it happen. Mm-hmm. Yes, you and one other person. I'm not going to mention that person's name, but
no, the first person was Catherine Hall.
Yes, Catherine Hall.
She was the first person. Then for years, after that, it was me for years. And yes, there is another person who used to work for me there.
I know her too.
Your own home inspection company. So yes, I have a lot to do with that, so it's okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure you were instrumental in that, right? So, your blessings are your blessings. Yeah. That person's blessings are their blessings. And, so it's good when people can learn from us, right?
It's enough to go around.
Listen, I say the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. What's for me is for me. It's enough to go around. So.
Yes, in Philly, we have 3 home inspections companies, me and 2 other. I was the first. I'm the one that's been around the longest.
Okay. Okay.
And I was able to become a home inspection company as opposed to just being a home inspector. I was the first to actually build a home inspection company.
Oh, okay. So you said it's 2 other, Black, female-owned?
There are 3 Black-owned home inspection companies in Philly.
Okay, yes.
And the Philadelphia area.
And it's only those 2, and then the other one that we all know of, too?
No, it's 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
that includes that.
And that includes that.
Yeah, right.
Wow. So,
like I said, we're talking about Abundant right now.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I said. I didn't want to talk about that. I said I didn't want to mention her name.
No, but you know what? Home inspection business is a white male-dominated field, and I think it's important to let it be known that we are out there. And so our people can know to look for us.
Absolutely.
Because we've actually, all 3 of us, me and the other 2 companies, we've actually met before, and we agreed that if there's a time where we're just overbooked, that we will refer business to each other.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. That's good that you support each other rather than look at it like it's total competition.
Like I said, it's plenty to go around. I've been in real estate for 20 years.
Okay.
I'm not hurting in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, I'm looking to hire more people so I can do less.
Yeah. So, y'all hear that, y'all? I don't know. I don't know if that was a plug, but so Abundant Home Inspection Services is hiring y'all. Yeah. So okay. So listen. Again, I want to thank you for coming out. So tell us a little bit about how you even got started in the real estate industry and doing inspections, because you said you started about 20 years ago. So
how did that come about? One, my personality. I thought I could work for another company and build and become a CEO of a company, but you have the old boys network. Also, my mother shared with me, she said, you don't really have a personality to work for somebody. And I was talking to Chris earlier, and I said, I have a lot of experience in business. I worked for the city, state, government. I worked for private industry. I worked for family. And I tend to, again, not to be prideful, I just was smarter, and I was able to help other people build their businesses. I was able to put systems in place that brought them from making a couple of $1,000s a year to multi-million-dollar companies. So why am I going to continue to do that for somebody when I can do it for myself?
Absolutely.
So I was working for a public adjustment company. that was a network marketing company, which means I had to build my team in order for me to make money. And it was through that I learned about houses and how homes are developed and the systems and components of the houses. But it's also how I learned how to build a company, how I build a business, what it takes to do that, all those no's that you run into before you actually get those yeses. So that's what started me out. I actually was working as a public insurance adjuster, and August of 2005 was a really hot time, and I had a lot of people calling me for damages to their homes, and it just turned out they were a lot of young black women, and they were young black women who just bought homes, and those homes had so much going on with them, and they, with their stories, I was like, how do you help them before you even buy these houses? Because back then, like I said, home inspectors weren't well known. We're talking about 20 years ago. Home inspectors weren't known. When I bought my house, we called the person whose name was on the front lawn. All right. As a matter of fact, you didn't have buyer's agents. They were only listing agents. And so there was nobody that really was looking out for the buyer. And I did a home inspection, as the public adjuster, I did a public adjusting inspection for a young lady who had been living in her house for 6 months and had no furniture. And she had no furniture because she was constantly putting money into the house. Roof coming in at the front porch, outlets open with wires sticking out. Her son on the floor doing his homework next to one of those outlets. Her house smelling like mold and mildew. And I remember leaving her house and getting in my car and saying, God, I wish I was Oprah. I would knock that house down and just build her a whole nother house. But I'm not Oprah. I don't have that kind of money. So... I thought about, like, how could I actually help people so they don't get into that situation, and that's what led me to the home inspection business.
Okay, and what was that process like? Is it a pretty tedious process? And
to become a home inspector? All right, it's easier now than it was when I became a home inspector. When I became a home inspector, you had to first be a member of either ASHI, ASHI, or NACHI. It's InterNACHI now, NACHI. And they had their process to become a home inspector, but and then they had modules for you to learn about roofs and plumbing and heating. So you really were much on your own. Because I was already a real estate investor at the time, I went with my HVAC contractor, went out when he worked. I went with my electrician out when they did work. I had a roofer. That part I didn't like because it was hot in the summertime on the roof. And I actually had to learn by doing. And also, I applied to become a job opening for a home inspector over in Delaware. So I actually worked for a home inspection company, and that's how I was able to combine what I was studying with actually being a home inspector. So in 3 months, I was a full-blown home inspector. I had my own business. It usually takes about 6 months before, any home inspector is going to release their home inspector out on people like that, because it's just so much to it. It only makes sense to keep somebody in training 6 months to a year. However, I had a child in private school and one in college.
You were ready to go.
Yeah, I had to go from because during training I was getting paid $35 an inspection. No, we can't do that. And I was part-time.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah, you needed to make that money. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I know you mentioned the roofs, right? So one of the things you say on your voicemail is what?
Yes, I climb roofs and I love it. So where that came from is when I first became a home inspector, again, white male dominated. There were no black companies. There were no female companies at that time. And I knew that, at least I thought people would say, well, are you going to climb the roof? I thought that was going to be something that got in the way of people hiring me. So I made that my slogan, and all my pictures were pictures of me either climbing a roof or up on top of a roof, so people could see that I was up there.
Okay, yeah.
Now I have other people to climb the roofs and carry the ladders.
Yes.
What do you think about now? I mean, to talk about roofs, right? Like people or home inspectors now just sending the drone up on the roof.
I think that is a good idea if you do it because you cannot get up on a roof. The reason being, most of the real estate agents that use me and some of the ones that were using somebody else at one time but started using me is because we actually walk on the roof. Because a drone, even with the better cameras now, you may be able to see rips or tears or damages to a roof, but you can't, if you're not walking on it, you don't know if there's soft spots. And that's actually where the money comes in, if that roof, the structure of the roof has to be pulled up.
Yes.
So we will use a drone, but it has to be a roof that we just could not get on safely.
So that's a good thing, because I know some inspection companies, that's what they do. That's just like, that's how they inspect roofs.
Well, I was going to do that. I mean, because really having to take a 32-foot ladder off and on a roof and tying it up the right way, that's tiring. It takes a lot out of you. In the summertime, it's the worst. In the wintertime, if it's really cold outside, you're trying to hurry up and get in the truck, and then you don't have the ladder tied tight, and nobody behind you driving wants to be behind you because your ladder just about up and down. Yeah. So I understand anybody who doesn't want to do that, but I mean, you know, we have to do what we have to do. I want to do the job right. I don't want any of my clients to experience things that I've seen in the past, you know. And again, so this is how I feel personally, is that I will only use it if I just can't. We're not going to use it out of laziness. I'm going to put it to you that way.
Okay.
If I can get on a roof, I'm going to get on a roof. As I hire inspectors, that's going to be the distinction that's one of the distinctions between us and other home inspection companies. I believe in doing things smart and more efficient, and as technology comes out, using those things at the same time. I don't want it to be, I don't want to use technology as a way to get things done real quick, so I can do more inspections that day, and then miss things, and then I have to put extra things into my home inspection agreement and reports to protect me from being sued because I didn't do the job to, you know, the way Ashley and Nachi say I'm supposed to. Because Ashley and Nachi say nothing about drones.
Oh, okay. So that's good. So you want to make sure that, first and foremost, the client gets the proper service that they need.
That's why I started doing this.
Yeah.
Like I shared with you, I saw young women that were really being taken advantage of. I want to go through there. My inspections take longer than most people's inspections. My reports are longer than most people's inspections. But I had a peace of mind in knowing that I'm not going to be sitting later on saying, yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Right. And I want to do what I would want somebody to do for me. For example, if I bought a property, Abundant can't do the home inspection. So there are 2 home inspectors that I would refer, and one I don't even know if he still does home inspectors. He was one of my mentors. But a lot of, you know, it's like I said, I would want to do things. I want to treat people and do for them the same thing I would want done for me.
Absolutely. I understand that. And you're also, it's family, like a family business, right? Your son, is he still doing home inspections with you?
Yes, Jamal, my hero.
Yes.
He Jamal does work for me part-time.
Okay.
Because he has his other things going on. But he's there for me, for example, those roofs that I can't get on by myself, where I will only trust him to be the person holding the ladder for me, or because of time, or where something is located. So yes, he does. Mostly he does inspections in the evening. So anybody who wants evening inspections because their client is working, he does the 5 o'clock ones, he does the weekend ones. He's the one that works on Sunday. I'm not working on Sunday. I don't care. I used to charge extra, but I don't want to.
And you deserve that, right? You deserve to be able to say, I'm not working on certain days, you know, and you know, as business owners, or especially just being in the real estate industry, period, the assumption is that we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially as agents. You know, and I honestly can say I hate that. Like, I hate, I'm so available 24 hours a day. Please stop saying that. Like, you're not, you know, and, you know, it just creates, you don't want anyone working themselves to death, right? We all deserve some time, some downtime, you know, so that we can recharge. So if that's your day to recharge,
and so I don't snap on you.
Yes, that too. That too. So we don't go snapping on people, right?
Some of the things that I wanted to share was after the inspection. What happens after the inspection? Because people don't read their home inspection reports. I know they don't read their home inspection reports. So it's been some of my experiences. For example, I'll get a phone call from somebody that I did an inspection a year ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and they'll say, Miss Simone, my roof is leaking, and they'll go on, and I said, well, did you have it addressed after we did the inspection? No, it wasn't in the report. And as they're telling me that, I'm pulling their report, and I'm saying, okay, on page 14 in the report with a picture, I'm telling you that you needed a new roof. Also, after we finished doing the roof, when we come down, we actually showed them the pictures. An inspection takes about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the house, depending on how many questions that the buyer has, how long it takes. So it's a lot going on. So I can understand somebody not remembering everything that we talked about during the home inspection. So what we do is an after inspection consultation where I go over the major defect page and make sure you understand what it's going to take to fix those things, how much money it's going to cost to fix those things. So at the end of the day, you can say, can I afford this house in its current condition? And the things that you are not able to take care of, you can tell your real estate agent, these are the things I'm concerned about. And then your real estate agent can negotiate those things for you. And then after the negotiations are over, you can decide whether you want to move forward. What happens is people don't read it. They expect their agent to do it. And when I pointed out to them that it was in the report, they'll say, well, my agent didn't tell me that. So I'm not very tactful. So I try to find a way to let them know that that was your responsibility, not your agent's responsibility, that when you hire a home inspector, the home inspector does not work for the agent. They work for you. So take advantage of that after inspection consultation so we can go over and make sure you know that. Now, I tell everybody this when they call me to schedule. I tell everybody this at the beginning of the inspection when we get to the property. I tell everybody this after I send them their report and say, okay, read it and call me. Rarely does anybody take advantage of that, and I get these phone calls from people. So after, what I recommend for any home buyers as a tip regarding the home inspection process is, one, show up at the home inspection.
Absolutely.
So you can walk around with the home inspector. We can tell you what we're looking at, what we're looking for, what we see, and give you recommendations. So then when you read it and the report is coming back to you.
It's familiar with
what's going on. And then make sure that you read that report and you ask those questions, have that consultation. I also highly recommend that after the sellers have agreed to make repairs, that you go to let the sellers know, I want you to use a licensed professional, not the guy who did it originally wrong. You want to use a licensed professional, and you need paperwork. That paperwork should be on something that has that person's logo, their name, address, cell phone number, email address, and their license number on there. So if after the inspection is over, that thing comes up again, shortly after you moved into the house, you have a recourse to go back to. But people don't listen to me when I tell them that, and they just because it's easier to tell the seller, here, fix that, let the seller say what they're going to fix. I also have found what happens is, and I'm not blaming the sellers, I want to make this clear, because sellers usually hire somebody to come in and do that work. But sometimes the people that they hire don't do the work or don't do it properly. And what happens is, the person moves into the house with the assumption that the work has been done, and it hasn't been done. So what we offer to do is go back and do a re-inspection. And yes, I do charge for it, only $150 for it. And I'm finding the majority of the times they did not do the work at all.
Or even
especially if it was something on the roof. A lot of times. Now, is that everybody? No, it's not everybody, but it is most of the time. They haven't. So have that after inspection, that re-inspection, to make sure the things that you asked to be fixed have been fixed, because I'm telling you, nobody's answering your phone calls
after closing.
After that. They don't. How do I know? Because I'm the one who gets the phone calls. So I do, like I said, I recommend a home buyer tip is show up at the inspection. Walk through with the home inspector. Wear comfortable clothes and make sure you ate before you came, because it's going to be a minute. After the inspection is over, already having allotted time that you're going to actually read the report. You can take notes, call your home inspector, and have them, explain anything that you don't know. Or anything that you don't understand, anything that you don't know what it's going to take. Because even though you're planning on asking the sellers to make those repairs, there's some things you may be able to take care of on your own. All right? Because on your report, an outlet that has a loose cover, that's a safety issue. That's considered a major defect, but that's a $5 fix.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to do that, and then after the sellers have agreed to make repairs, you want to know that you can go back, make sure those repairs have been made, even if you don't decide to hire us to come back and do the reinspection. At least you want to go back and make sure the repairs have been made. And then the day of or the day before closing, you're going to do a final walkthrough. The reason you're going to do that, sometimes it takes 30, 60, 90 days before you go to closing. The condition of the house could have changed by that time, especially if it was occupied at that time. So you want to make sure those things are able to be addressed. Why is that so important? I recently had a client. I spent 4 hours at her house doing inspection, and it wasn't because the house was in such a bad shape. It was because her real estate agent, her real estate agent referred me, I think, but I didn't know him. He didn't know me, and he doesn't know my work. So he wasn't present at the inspection. So I'm explaining things because I don't know if he already did this. Like real estate agents that I've worked with, I already know what you've told your clients. I know but I didn't know this. And I know that they're, to keep it real, they're real estate agents that look out for their clients and their salespeople.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know him, so I didn't know which one he was. And she was a first-time home buyer in her 20s with her kids and so forth. So I spent extra time explaining things to her. And I told her everything that I just shared you should do after inspection. She did not a one of those things. And the day of closing, they went back to the house. Her and her agent saw that the work had not been done. And in addition to that, her air conditioner wasn't working. But her air conditioner was working the day of the inspection. And the only reason I know that is because she reminded me. She said, remember, Miss Simone, the air conditioner was working because you said you're premenopausal and you were hot. And we needed to turn that air conditioner. You needed to turn that air conditioner. But what happened is usually, and I've talked to you about her situation. I talked to other real estate agents that I know. Usually what a real estate agent would do in a case where you go to do the final walkthrough and the repairs haven't been made and something may have been broken is either put the closing off to another day or put money in escrow and enough money in escrow to take care of those situations until either the seller fixes them or that money is used so the buyer can get those things fixed.
Absolutely.
In her case, they went back, saw the repairs were not made, saw that in addition to that, the air conditioner was no longer working. And again, I'm keeping it real. I asked you if I could.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Between the seller, her agent, and the seller's agent, they all pulled money out their pocket and together gave her $700. Now, first of all, didn't I just say the air conditioner wasn't working? Yeah. And then what happened? Even though she called me for advice and I was the person that helped her, guess who was the person that went under attack?
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one answering the telephone.
Her agent wasn't even answering the phone?
No, wow. Nobody was. I had to reach out to a real estate agent who actually cares about their clients, and she actually shared with me what to share with the young lady. Yeah. And so, because I didn't know what her recourses were when it comes to that. But that's what happened. She, as a matter of fact, she even attacked me. She said, well, you didn't tell me about XYZ. And I'm like, okay, it's in the report with a picture. I did. The electric panel. I never did inspect her electric panel because it was bought. They were stripped. I said, have them take that off. I put it in the report. That has to be corrected so I can go back. I was willing to go back at no charge, and so I can go in there and look at that. That never happened, those things. So now a lot of money is coming out of her pocket, and she wants me to pay for it. I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
With that being said, one of the things from my experience that I did is I put warranties in place for my clients. So I give them a 5-year roof leak warranty. Because sometimes, like say it's been hot for a long time, and the first time it rains is way after the inspection, and now we see that the roof is leaking. So they have a 5-year roof leak warranty. We have a 125-day warranty. What's that, about 4 months?
Yeah.
So if we inspected something and it was working the day of the inspection, but it breaks within that period, residential warranty services will have it repaired or replaced. at no cost to the buyer or the seller.
Nice.
There's a 125-day mold warranty that gives $2,000. That's better than nothing to help address any mold issues. And then we give a sewer guard warranty. It covers the plumbing pipes that are outside underground. So if the ground has to be dug up to get to those pipes, that gives up to $4,000. All our warranties come free with the home inspection.
Wow.
Can I ask a question about the sewer guard warranty really quickly? So does a person have to have the sewer scope in order to get the sewer guard warranty?
No.
Okay.
And the reason they don't have to have the sewer scope, because sewer scope is not part of a home inspection, and underground plumbing is not part of a home inspection. And the reason underground plumbing is not part of the home inspection is because it's not visible.
Yes.
A home inspection is a limited visual inspection, meaning we can only inspect things we can get to and things that we can't see. So we can't see underground, we can't see behind the wall. So no, they don't have to get the sewer scope in order for the sewer guard warranty to be in place. However, I do always recommend to every single one of my clients that they get sewer scope, especially in Philadelphia. These are older houses, cast iron pipes underground, tree roots, crack pipes, they have terracotta plumbing pipes under the ground and so forth. It's better to spend that money. It could cost up to $400 for a sewer scope, but that $400 is saving you thousands of dollars.
$10,000 in some cases. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's something that's negotiable with the sellers at that time, but at least you know what's going on and you know how much it costs, so you can budget and get it taken care of before it actually becomes a problem.
Yeah, or you can get the cities program. If it's in Philadelphia, you can get the cities program. They have a sewer line protection program. So, they can add that.
To get that with my old house in Mount Airy.
Girl, listen, I always got crazy too, but I have, on a rental property, I let mine lapse. And of course, something happened and I completely forgot about it. I called it, like, no, it expired last year. I'm like, are you kidding me? So it cost me about $5,000 to replace it was the fresh water line that had burst in the middle of winter, going to the property. So there's water running down the street all over. The neighbors complaining because it's cold and getting. Oh my God, it was a mess.
Yeah,
but
you had to get that fixed immediately.
I had to get that fixed immediately. But if I had the sewer line protection program, then it's only like $150 for the year.
Yeah, that only makes sense.
Yeah, then it would. And so I make sure I have that on everything. Every property that I have. But, you're offering all of these warranties is great. I mean, I didn't even know you offer these
Most
warranties.
of the things we put in place are to protect the client. The after inspection consultation, the warranties, and also, if the person decides to move forward with the purchase of the property, we get all the utilities turned on and their name for them, including their cable, internet, security systems. So about 15 days before closing, we call them, we get all the information we need, and we have set up for them to make things easier for them.
You're making my job easier. Yes.
And most our referrals, 90% of our referrals come from, 95% of our referrals come from real estate agents that refer business to them. And again, these are in place to also help the real estate agents, help you be comfortable with referring people. We're repeating to your buyers the same thing you told them. So, I mean, how many times can they hear it? And it's making sure that it gets done. And like I said, I know this because from my experience and hearing what happens after the inspection.
Yeah.
Everybody else got paid and they moved on their way. Whereas, and this is not to dismiss anybody or discard anybody. I'm the only person that doesn't care whether they buy that house or not. My goal is not to get you to buy that house. My goal is, I'm not trying to not get you to buy the house, but it's not on my agenda, okay, do what's necessary to make sure this person buys this house. My goal is only to tell you what the condition of that property is, so based on your money and your means, you can say, can I afford this house in its current condition?
Absolutely, because you get paid anyway, regardless of whether they buy the house or not. Whereas a lot of, the other people, right? And
don't get paid until the house is sold.
We don't get paid until the house is sold.
Well, in addition to that, too, my business is word of mouth also. Yeah. So I want to make sure I looked out for you because to this day, I'm one of the very few home inspectors. I'm not in every real estate agent's office spending time going to office, putting brochures and doing speak. Now, I will do that. I have done that. I can do that. So I'm not saying that's a bad idea or that I'm above that. But think about it. I started Abundant in 2006, and my business is completely word of mouth. From, like I said, a lot of real estate agents refer business to us, but how about the young lady that bought her house years ago when it was just her? And then she bought a house again when it was her boyfriend, her boyfriend, her kid. And then now they bought their last home out in the county where, you know, this is their dream house. That person has hired me 3 times. And then I'm the family home inspector. So it's more or less not that I get paid, I want to make sure that they're being taken care of. Right? And my goal is not that you buy this house, is that, you know, I looked out for you, know that I'm not trying to encourage you to buy this house.
And that's how you know you are providing a good service to your clients, because they are repeat clients and they are referring business to you.
Family, friends.
I have clients like that too, where I've sold almost everyone in the family, you know, houses. You know, it's like like you said, you're the family inspector. I'm the family real estate agent. You know, as a matter of fact, the people I was just talking to, multiple houses within their family. You know, it's like,
people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust.
Exactly.
You have to build relationships. That's in any business.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, unfortunately, there are people, just like you said, in your industry and in real estate, you know, agents or whoever, whose focus is just to get the deal to the closing table. And those people, unfortunately, in my opinion, will not, they have to buy business. You know, like I don't buy business. I don't, like you say, you don't advertise. I'm not on Zillow and all these other websites, you know, doing all of these things, because my business just comes to me. You know, phone call does, you know, I want to refer my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, or whoever the case may be, because, you know, it's important that I do a good service, give a good service to my clients, and I look out for their best interest, regardless of whether they go to the closing table or not go to the closing table. Just like the you know, Sam and Samantha that was here a few weeks ago, right? They mentioned they didn't close on one of their houses, and they thought that I was just going to disappear. No, I got y'all. You know, regardless, I got you. You know, and years later, they were a couple that purchased their house late, you know, in late stages of life, and amazing couple. But anyway, you know, I think you did their inspection. Yeah, matter of fact, you did. You did. Jamal did their inspection. Yep, sure did.
Everybody loves Jamal. He's charming.
Yes, he is. He does a good job. He does a very good job. So yeah, Jamal did their inspection.
I have a policy: can't date real estate agents.
Well, he's a little too young for me. So.
Listen. Listen. Some don't care.
Well, you ain't got to worry about that one here. But I understand he's a handsome young man. He's about his business, and you know,
very
keep that
personable.
very personable, very charming. So yeah, keep that policy in place. Keep him focused.
Oh well, keep people from getting hurt. His girlfriend is not playing that.
I know that's right. Look, she said it real serious. Like his girlfriend is not playing that. All right, y'all hear that, agents out there after Jamal? His girlfriend is not, and Mama not playing it either.
Not here.
Mama's not playing it either. Don't be breaking up no happy homes out there.
But,
you are listening to Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. This is Desiree, Real Estate Diva McDuffie, and each week we will be featuring a property that we are selling. And this week's property is 10 South 53rd Street in the heart of West Philadelphia. It is a 3-bedroom, 2 full-bath home, newly renovated with all of the bells and whistles. I mean, guys, this property has Bluetooth speakers throughout, hardwood floors, laundry on the first floor, finished basement. I mean, it's definitely one that you want to see. So if you have any interest in this home at 10 South 53rd Street in West Philadelphia, please feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at 267-238-2877, or you can see it on my website, which is phillyrealestatediva.com.
Getting back to the home inspection process, one of the things when people call to schedule a home inspection, they're comparing price. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make, because like the saying goes, you get what you paid for.
Yep.
I have had real estate agents that prefer me, but to protect yourselves,
you have
a list of home inspectors, and the person chooses who they want to go with. And a real estate agent friend of mine, she shared with me that, the person didn't pick me, and the inspector was in and out like quick. She's like, how did he was able to do that? Because one of the things I recommend, if you're getting a home inspection done, if you're in a home buying process, go to ASHI, ASHI.org, or NACHI, NACHI.org. Go to their website. It tells you the standards of practice for home inspectors. It tells you what we inspect and what we don't inspect. And there are home inspectors that stick specifically to those standards. And again, a home inspection is a limited, did you hear me? Limited visual, meaning if we can't see it, we can't get to it. So if your house is being inspected and the people still live in the house, it's still occupied, how much can that home inspector actually really see? And all we have to do is put in a report, we couldn't see that because of these things. We are not required to go back. If it's raining, snowing that day, and we can't get on the roof, all we have to do is we didn't go on the roof because it was raining. We are not required to go back. So when you're hiring your inspector based on the price, you don't know
service quality.
And not to knock new home inspectors, because it's not to say that they don't have good intentions. At the same time, they don't have the same experience. And just to get their foot in the door, they may charge $200 for an inspection, $250 for an inspection. I'm charging $500 for it. All right. But they don't have the same experience. So you don't know what they're going. I did that. My very first home inspection, when I became a home inspector, was for a real estate agent, Jackie Cooper. And Jackie Cooper built my business. I love her. She had a 3,000 square foot house. I did a speaking engagement at their office. And I remember she was moving around doing stuff. I thought she wasn't even really paying attention to me. When I finished talking, she said, I'm getting ready to sell my house. I'm going through a divorce. I need to know how much you'll charge me. I just hollered out $250. But that paid off for me, But I said $250 because I was brand new, and I needed to do an inspection, and I was in front of them, and I figured I'd do a good job for her. Then, she'll tell the rest of the real estate agents, and then that's what gets me in the door. So that worked out for me. Again, though, as brand new home inspectors, you don't always want to hire somebody just based on the price, You want to ask them, how long have you been in business? You want to ask their experience. You want to go to ASHI and NACHI and see what they're supposed to do. So when you get to the inspection, you'll see that they're doing those things. You'll be able to see if they are going above and beyond what they're required to do the home inspection. And you'll be able to see that this is not HGTV.
Oh, yes. Not at all. No.
And no, we cannot pry holes in something and look beyond it to see what's going on. We look for evidence. And we can tell you evidence of what happened in the past. We can't tell you what's going to happen in the future unless something is just installed improperly. And I was sharing with Chris earlier, too, as an experienced, seasoned home inspector, I know certain areas like Levittown. I know Levittown has a problem with termites. All right, a newer inspector might not know that. And if the place has been newly renovated, and especially if, you can't see under, like has a finished basement. You don't know if they put brand new joists up under there. But I can tell my clients that that's something that you might want to look for. You might want to ask some questions to the seller if they've had that problem, if they had it treated. There's an area in Delaware where the foundations weren't laid properly, whereas they allow water to come in. And a new home inspector is not going to know that. So even if I don't see any evidence of water in that basement, I can share with the buyer, this developer had an issue with this and these homes, see from the sellers, have they had that issue? Have they had it rectified? Has it been taken care of? Those type of things. So when you call in and you just want to hire your inspector based on price, you might be doing yourself a disservice.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's with a lot of things for sure, So what I'm hearing is definitely hire based on experience. Price is not always the best to go after. One of the other things that I do want to point out is that, when it comes to the contract, the purchase contract on the agreement of sale, and you elect the inspection contingency, as your, possible out of the contract, right? It has to be, or ASHI or was it NACHI,
Yes.
certified inspector. It cannot be Uncle Joe who goes in, inspects the property, and says, this is wrong. We want to terminate the contract. No, because if it's a savvy real estate agent, that agent may say, send us the report from whoever this person is. Let's see what's really going on here. And if it is not an ASHI or NACHI certified inspector, unfortunately, you cannot. You might have a fight. I'm not going to say you cannot, but you might have a fight, getting yourself out of that contract. That contract. So that's why it's extremely important to make sure that you hire someone who has the proper credentials.
And let me share with you why. In Pennsylvania, to become a licensed contractor, you just have to go to the PA website, fill out the paperwork, and pay the fee. Whereas a home inspector, in order to become a certified home inspector, we have to learn about every type of heating system and be tested on those different types. We have to learn about all the different type of defects that can happen, and we're tested on that. Everything when it comes to electrical, plumbing, heating, electrical structure, foundation, interior, exterior of a property. We have to know the different materials and be able to identify the different materials and what can go wrong with all those different things. We have to perform 250 home inspections before we can become certified home inspectors, and certified outweighs licensed. Licensed just means that city, state, whatever Providence municipality said that the home inspector had to bring something and sign some paperwork so we can get
the fee.
So we can get taxed for it. Whereas the certification through ASHI and through NACHI takes you through that whole thing. And listen, they don't play ASHI. If a home inspector goes to take the national exam and you fail it, you can't take it again for 30 days. They want you to go back and study. Yep. All right. With NACHI, you have to keep taking that test over and over again until and they do it based on, I forgot, it's like a ratio. It's not even percentage. It's like a ratio how they decide, how you do that. So home inspectors are seriously vet. I mean, we have to go learn a lot. We have to actually know what we're doing. And I have hired, like I said, I'm a real estate investor. I hire contractors, and I often find that they're not doing things the right way, because of that. So even though this is a side note, if you are going to hire a contractor, I think you should hire a contractor, a general contractor that's hiring people who specializes in those particular areas to do the work, and not that person is doing all the work themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The general contractor that's hiring a licensed plumber and a licensed electrician, a licensed roofer to do that work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's as you were saying, the contract says, the agreement itself says that they have to hire somebody who's NACHI or ASHI certified. And remember, the key word is certified. Not just a member. Because you can go right online right now and become a member. Right.
Yeah, you're right.
But do you want you doing your own inspection?
Ma'am, I will not ever do my own inspection. I remember my first house, actually, my uncle and my dad went through the house. Because that's what they did. They were investors. I didn't know any better. I'm
Uncle,
25
the dad,
years.
the boyfriend, the husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it look okay. I mean, I knew I was going to rehab the house, but there's a lot of things that look hindsight, right?
Yeah.
Because I ended up hiring a contractor to do work. Hindsight, if I ever do even something like that again, I'm going to hire an inspector just because. Because here's the thing, just like you said, with the buyers,
I'm going to hire an inspector.
Yeah, I tell buyers all the time, make sure, just as you said, go to the inspection, because this is your time to learn about the house that you will be purchasing, the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies, and even if you do, or when you do get that inspection report, let's just say there's some items on the inspection report that are, material defects or minor items that, you need to really just, take a look at or pay attention to later on. That inspection report is sort of your house handbook.
Yeah, because you can make a priority list.
Exactly. So don't just throw it away, put it to the side, revisit that book.
They do. I know. We're giving advice, but again, those phone calls that I get, can you send me my report again?
I know. So for a long time, I was giving my buyers, and I really should get back into this, I would give my buyers a book, and it would include, at closing, it was their little first time. I ain't going to give them my tricks, but I don't care. But, I would get, and it would include their inspection report. And I would say to them, even at closing, make sure you revisit this inspection report, because a year from now something may go on, so you need to know if the inspection report said monitor, you need to make sure you're monitoring your roof, and in a year you may want to make sure you get that coating done or whatever may come up. You want to make sure you use that book as a...
You just said something that's important. Another reason to have that after inspection consultation is when we say monitor, we actually mean it's in good shape now, but it's going to need repair or replacement in the near future. So you should be budgeting for replacement and get that budget and get it fixed before it becomes a problem. But if you're thinking monitor in the basic sense, you're thinking just keep watching it. No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to have the after inspection consultation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I said. I say to people, in a year or whatever the time frame is, be ready to make those repairs to your property. When you get your tax money, planned. Yep. Okay, now this needs to be replaced. Well, what in this book is a priority? Oh, the roof, it said get a, coating or whatever the case may be. Use your tax money to do those type of things. New furniture is not the priority here. If you don't have it in your budget.
Another thing I want to point out, I hit on it, but I didn't emphasize it, is home inspectors do not work for the real estate agents. Even though the real estate agents are they're referring people that they've done business to that they know are going to look out for you and look out for them, because none of us want to be in court. And I don't want to make that the main reason that we're doing it. It is to look out for what your best interest is. At the same time, a real estate agent is not going to hire somebody or refer somebody to you that's going to have them end up in court. So it is, it works out to my benefit, because if I wasn't on your list and they got me off of Google, then that's when that works out to my benefit. But a lot of times buyers think that the real estate agent and the home inspector are in cahoots and their whole job is to get you to buy the house. That actually works against us, because if I get you to buy a house because I like Des and then something goes wrong, I'm in court. I don't want to be in court. I have to pay for that. I'm not trying to buy a $10,000 roof. I don't want to.
Exactly. Well, that's why it's important that,
especially when you only paid me $400, $500.
Yeah, now I got to pay $2,500
exactly.
for a roof. Yeah, that's why it's important as agents, and I always do this with my clients. Give them that list. Like you said, it's up to them. I can't force them either way to use whoever they want to, they can use whoever they want to use, but to save ourselves, I am not hiring the inspection company. I'm not hiring the inspector. You are hiring the inspector. In most situations, I tell my clients, unless they don't have time to, I even try to tell them, you schedule the inspection, because I do want my hands off of that as much as possible, because I'm not choosing the inspector. If you want to go and Google and hire somebody,
I get it. If something goes wrong, then it's going to fall back on you. So I get why real estate agents do that. I understand that. One thing I recommend, if you're a new real estate agent, come to the home inspection so you can learn what to look out for. If you are a seasoned realtor and you don't know that home inspector, go make sure that inspector is not making mountains out of molehills. Also make sure your client is not making mountains out of molehills. done inspections for someone, and the agent called me livid because I told them some cosmetic crack the house was going to fall there. I never told them that. I never said that. They don't want that house, and now they're using what I said and exaggerating. So it's, if it's a home inspector that you don't know, even if you're a seasoned, I recommend still showing up at that inspection so you can learn that person and make sure that person is not scaring your buyer away. And if you're a brand new real estate agent, you're going to learn by going. That way, when you take your clients out to a house, and you're going to see red flags, and your client's budget, what they can afford and what they can. You can say, listen, we don't even need to waste time at this house.
Listen, I can say almost my first 7 or 8 years in real estate, Catherine Hall and Tom, they were the people, I didn't know about you at that time, but they were the people who, when they were in business, they knew me. I was at every inspection. So much in the very beginning, Catherine would say, "Why are you coming to these inspections with your heels on?" Because I would come in with my little heels.
You gonna be there a while, right?
No, she know I'm gonna be there, but I come in here with my high heels on, I had to learn, I'm up and down these steps, and I would follow them around all over the house. Wherever they went, I went, because I wanted to learn, for my clients, but also for myself too. I learned so much from walking through the house with the inspector. So yes, I highly recommend. I don't always attend every inspection now, because I have trusted inspectors that, I know you guys are going to do what you're supposed to do. So I don't, I've attended enough.
And you know how to read our reports.
Yeah, I know how to read the report. So and if it's something I don't know, I know to call you guys and say, all right, what do you mean here? I don't understand what this is. And you can explain it. But for the buyer, 1,010%, you have to go to that home inspection. You have to take the time off of work or whatever you got to do. Go to the home
when
inspection.
You can, for the most part, because I do have clients that live in different cities, that live in different states.
Oh yeah, when they can.
But a lot of them are people that I have a relationship with, from the past, and I'm able to do that.
So I can say, for me, if I have a buyer that's doing that, that's when I do attend the inspection. And I'll have them, if I can, I'll have them on FaceTime or, WhatsApp or whatever, and we're going through the house, together, if it's a buyer that's out of town. Because I still think, because here's the thing, when you're getting third-party information, things are lost in translation, like you said, and, somebody could say this person said this or that. I want my buyers to get firsthand from the inspector, because, like you said, they're hiring you, what's happening with the house. So if they can't be there, then I'm there. Yeah. That's when I absolutely am there to walk through. Because, like you said, everything is about making sure the buyer gets what they need.
And when the buyers are looking for a home inspector, you want to ask them, like, when are you available? You want a home inspector that's responsive to you. Again, I don't work on Sundays, but if I just did an inspection for you on Friday or Saturday and you text me because I'm not going to answer the phone, you have a question, I will, that only takes a moment. I'm not totally selfish with it, but no, I'm not going over a home inspection report with you on a Sunday. If you're a real estate agent that I have a relationship with and you have a quick question, I will still answer the telephone. I have my people that I like, so I'm like, okay, that's Desi, I'll answer the telephone. And then if you start talking too much, I'm like, Des, remember it's Sunday.
This is my day off. I gotta go.
Yeah. It's fun, girl, but I'm getting back to this movie.
I know that's right.
And my wine and my popcorn.
Listen, I don't blame you, because you have to set those boundaries.
But you do want a home inspector that's responsive. You want somebody who's responsive and who's going to take time. I'll give all of my clients my personal cell phone number, because I let them know even after you've moved into the house, if you have any questions about the systems or components in the house, give me a call. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody who does, and I'll be able to help them out.
Yeah, I can honestly attest to that. There's been times when I had to call you with questions, and she's gotten right back, and even if Jamal has done the inspection, you'll get to him, like, all right, let me ask him, what the situation was. And so I do recommend Abundant Home Inspection Services. I have not had any clients complain about your services. So I want to thank you for that,
Thank
because
you.
I can't say
Thank you
that
for
for
trusting us.
everyone, but you take pride in what you do.
I actually like what I do.
Yeah.
I
And it
enjoy
shows.
it. Even when I'm tired, I still like what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you I'm tired. I'm not going to talk to you right now, but I still like what I do. And that's how I've been able to do it. I have other businesses and other sources of income, as everybody should. But I will always have abundant home inspection services. I will always be in this business.
How long you want to be climbing them ladders to the roofs?
As I said, I have people now. So if I'm climbing on that roof, that means I couldn't get anybody else to do it. But I do, like I said, that actually is my favorite part of my job. I don't know. I think I like it because because people don't like doing it. I like doing it because other people don't like doing it. It's something that everybody is not going to do. And like you said, there are a whole lot of inspectors that use drones and don't climb up there. So I think that's what makes me like it. I like one of the reasons why I wanted to come into the home inspection business is I wanted something that required licensing, certifications, and something that's respected and something that a lot of people can't do. Everybody is not going to do it. All the real estate agents that refer business, some of them said, I would never do that. You're not climbing in the crawl spaces and attics and so forth. That's not comfortable. It's very uncomfortable, especially it's hot and the fiberglass sticking your skin and
I've
so
done
forth.
it, but only during an inspection. Come on in here and look at this. So Tom would say, I'm like,
That's why I had somebody, a real estate agent that doesn't use me. They use somebody else, but their person wasn't available. And they asked me to do an inspection, and they asked me how much it cost, and they didn't like my price. I told them it was $450 for the home inspection, and they said, can you do better than that? I said, yes, $550.
my price is my price. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you have to
be respectful.
But here's the thing, that agent, right, I'm pretty sure they want their commission. Their commission is their commission, right? So when the seller, I hope they,
Yeah, I'm
are fighting
liable
for themselves.
I am the one who is liable. I'm liable. I'm the one who's going to get sued. All right. I have to do continuing education every year. I have to pay for that business license. I have to pay for my certification. The trucks break down. I have to take care of that. We accidentally left the sink running too long and it was the drain. I had to pay for those damages and so forth. And all I'm asking you for is $450 that I'm about to spend 2 hours an inspection, then another 2 hours writing a report. That's half my day. That's a whole day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole day for me. And so forth. And you want me to do it for less?
Yeah.
I have colleagues that I don't care if it's 2 rooms, they're not walking in there for less than $500.
That's true. But listen, I want to thank you so much, Miss Simone on Homes.
Yes, Simone Homes. And yes, I climb roofs and I love
she climbs roofs and she loves it. I'm not climbing a roof. I've been on a roof a couple of times and I'm scared every time I come down. But listen, kudos to you for climbing roofs. And again, thank you for coming out. And I want to make sure that people are able to get in contact with you. So please share your contact information and whatever else you want to provide to our listeners.
My cell, my office number is 215-849-6671. Is that on here? It's all the way at the bottom. 215-849-6671. My cell, 267-239-4323. And actually, you can Google me.
She is Googleable.
Yeah, you can Google Simone on Homes. You can Google a bunch of home inspection services. I'm easy to find. I'm very public, so I'm easy to get in contact with. And you also can Google, yes, I climb roofs and I love it.
Is it trademarked?
Yeah, it'll pop up.
Okay.
I did a home buyer seminar from one of the real estate development organizations. And the young lady hired me like 5 years later. And she said, I couldn't remember your name or the name of the company, but I remember you said, yes, I climb roofs and I love it. And she Googled that, and that's how she found me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The tagline.
Yeah.
The tagline. All right. Well, I am Desiree Real Estate Diva McDuffie, and this has been another episode of Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. And if you need to reach me, I am at phillyrealestatediva.com or on Instagram, Facebook, all the other places at Philly Real Estate Diva, or you can give me a call at my office, and that number is 267-238-2877. Do not send a text message to that number. Someone called me and said they texted me like 2 weeks ago. No, do not send a text message to that number. Call it, leave a message, and I will get back to you. And I'll be happy to work with you. And I know, Miss Simone, you're looking to buy a house. Miss Simone is going to inspect it. Okay? So thank you guys. Another episode of Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. Until next week, be blessed.